Hello there, all beautiful souls, and welcome into this safe space on this channel called Dimensions of Love. If you're new here, thank you for being here. If you are returning, you're so appreciated. I acknowledge you all and all of your energies. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is a tarot card reading with winged beings and 3 piles that are beautiful, which you had the chance to see the picture and pick with your intuition. If you've been drawn to this video in some shape or form, or if it is in representing itself in your reality, then Spirit has a message here that needs to be delivered to you. I thank you all. And before I start anything here, I always want to remind you that these are general readings, so they might not resonate completely, but if it doesn't, then leave the rest for someone else. And if you also couldn't pick between 2 piles, then there are messages in both piles for you. So there's no right or wrong, how to do it better, or, just be free and trust yourself, because on this channel, it is all about love and trusting your inner guidance and your inner voice, knowing that you will be guided to the right message, and just relax. The more that we can relax, the easier we can receive with our intuition. So let's start this fall, of course, that is associated with death and resurrection. So these all 3 piles are exactly that, because there are transformational phases in all of these piles. So from the bird, we have the egg, which becomes the bird. So there is a big transformation. And with pile number 2, we have the butterfly. And the same thing is that when it is the larva stages and when it becomes the butterfly. So it's 2 different stages that are very significant and very obvious in its differences. And in the 3rd pile, we have the dragonfly. And here again, it is the same thing, that it emerges from the water out to the air and also goes through a transformation. So pick with your intuition, your pile. You can always choose the timestamps to fast forward to your pile. I will always provide that below. And again, always pick with your intuition. I'm an energy reader first, and since this is a transformation and it is all about transforming yourself, so I'm calling this pick a card reading self-knowledge, self-love. So that's how we are entering into these readings. So I will not read any other energies than the energy of where are you and what you actually already know. But I'm just going to remind you again what you truly already know inside of you. That's basically it. And because we're in this transformational fall season, what better way to start the fall season than to have these kinds of pick a card reading. So I hope that you will enjoy it, and let's dive in together and see your messages. So pile number 1, these are your cards. So we have the Judgment card, which is called the Call here. That is your first card. And before we get into these cards, I want to say something about what happens with the bird and the egg. There's this big discussion of what came first, the bird or the egg, and science is also discussing this matter. Is that the egg came first? It's just a revolutionary transformation where another type of bird, in the cases of chickens, was something else. So the same way here, I feel with you, pile number one. You have a very, all of you that picked pile number one, you have a very strong shell, and you're coming from a place that is different from what you are going to experience entering into your other stage. So you've been in a harsh environment where you haven't been able, just like inside of an egg, you cannot hear the sounds from outside the same way because you're on the inside, and it's a different sound because not only are you in fluid, you're also in this hard shell. So for you, the big pile number one, just this transformational of the mother bird taking care of the eggs in a beautiful nest, and then you have to crack yourself open because that is your strength. So you have to come out of there by yourself. You don't get any help. And on top of that, when you have transformed, if we use these analogies with the egg, when you've transformed and you are entering into your second phase, which you are in now, in your transformation, you are going to first dry and then completely dry. More than any of the piles, you need to dry up completely so that your feathers are not sticky and you can actually take that leap and fly. So you have to be ready. So with you, pile number one, energetically, you're going through the stages of a hard shell and then coming out, and then you have to dry yourself before you're ready to jump forward and fly, which is very scary because not every bird can make it. But since you're in this phase, you're going for it. You're really going for it because you have the call. So you have the judgment card. This is your judgment. This is your time. And your second card is the green Tara. So you have supreme protection. Pile number one, as you're going through this transformational stages of loving yourself, you have this otherworldly energy supporting you. So maybe if you believe in past lives or any connection, but you have from other dimensions and beings that are supporting you in this growth, and they're really taking care of you. I can see this energy field around you. It's very beautiful because we have the Seven of Wands here for you. So you might feel in this space as you're entering and you're transforming that it can feel very difficult, like many energies are trying to test you. But with the green Tara, you have that master energy that is with you, that is saying, you don't have to worry about anything. You are being taken care of here, and they can't reach you because they're not in the same energy as you. These energies that are trying you are just trying to instill fear in you. So when you're going through this transformation, that you are, for you to make a mistake, it's basically what these energies are trying to do, like push you and rush you so you'll make a mistake. Remember, as you are going through the phase of coming out of the egg, it's very important that you dry. Okay, they keep saying to me that you need to dry your wings thoroughly, so when you fly, you will be ready. And of course, like the analogy of the mother taking care and feeding, that is the divine feeding you, giving you the nourishment, and these otherworldly energies that are taking care of you and feeding you, giving you this reminder and this boost of your self-love, that you have this, okay? You are connecting to your soul very strongly, and you got this, okay? There's nothing to fear. Just go for it when you feel that you are ready. because we have a celebration. There is a celebration here that is happening. It's very joyful. So your rebirth is going to be so joyful with the people that you encounter in that energy field that you're going towards. And this celebration is also your soul celebrating you. You have 1111 on this card. As you can see, there's 1111. It's a very powerful number. So we're going through these on the fall. So we're coming into the 11th month in November. So make sure to look there, because you're going to have big surprises in your energy field, because this is connecting to your cards. I love this very much for you guys, because in the Seven of Cups in reverse, you've been, like I said, in this egg, you haven't been able to hear anything outside of this egg, of knowing what is it? What are these creatures out there? So it's been a lot of illusions that has blocked you from seeing the whole picture. And now Spirit is reminding you that it was all just illusion. There's nothing to be afraid of. And all of these things that you believe or you thought was true, they're not really true. Okay? You don't have to put any energy to them. So with that Knight of Swords in reverse, it's kind of reminding you have a little reminder, because you're coming out of an egg that has a shell. So you're very determined soul. Is pile number one. You're very strong, and sometimes, because we go through these transformational, we also have the ego, but then we have the super ego. So now we are leaving the ego, but we're entering the super ego phase. So both of our sides of our brains are operating correctly. But the problem here comes when the super ego starts to look down on everyone else. And of course, if there are energies that you feel attacked by, and you're feeling pushed, that you might do a mistake. So it's just a little reminder that you came from a hard shell, but remember, the Spirit is kind of saying, yes, you came from that hard shell because you're supposed to learn, but remember, you're a bird now, and you don't have to become a nasty bird. You can become the bird that you're meant to be, like rising up like a beautiful phoenix from the ashes. So it's that type of energy, that fiery, that soul energy. That is what Spirit wants you to embody, because we can easily fall down to that. But it's just a reminder. I don't feel the energy that is how you are, because there's a lot of love here. But it's just a little push and a reminder that don't get tempted to go back to your old ways of going into the egg, because there's no egg there. You're already hatched. You're already transformed. You're going to go back somewhere where it will just feel boring and empty, like your soul wants something else. And when the soul wants something else, wherever you are, even if the bird will go back into the egg and the shell is cracked, it will not feel the same. You know what this analogy is what I'm trying to bring here to you. I'm trying to bring this energy of explaining it to you in the most simplest way, but that is how I'm reading this energy for you, that you can't go back to where you were, and it's going to be boring, and that boring is going to force you anyway to, again, dry those wings and fly, because you're meant to fly away from that nest. You're not meant to be there. That phase is over for you, my friends. So I love this message for you, and take the call, because Spirit is calling you. So pick up that phone and answer, because everything that you truly need and know is within yourself. And you know that through your transformational journey. And whatever bird you are, use your visualization here. It's very good to play with, because you have this card of a lot of ideas, a lot of things that were kept in the dark and that were illusions for you. You're being asked to play a little bit with your imagination here. What bird are you? How do you see yourself? Because you can come out of this egg and you can be whatever you want to be. There's no limit to the imagination of what you can become. So this is a beautiful message, and you are protected. You are protected, and there is a beautiful celebration for you, okay? So pile number one, look at your November and see how it will unfold for you. So thank you, my beautiful birds, and have a wonderful fall. And I hope that this message helps you. Bye. Hello, my pile number 2, and you are the butterflies. And I'm already feeling elegant coming into your energy. So, your main card is the Lovers. Beautiful. And before I start with the cards, I want to tell you about the metamorphosis of the butterfly, which you probably know since you picked this pile, all of you guys. But I just want to say, there's such a big difference. I'm going to use analogy here to explain where you are in your journey of your self-discovery and your self-love. But just like when it is in the larva stages, the butterfly, just in your life, you've been eating a lot. So maybe you like to eat also within your physical body, but there's a lot of eating knowledge. It can be a lot of different things, but all of you in pile number 2, you like to eat, whether that is eating knowledge or eating a lot of different food, tasty foods, just being in this 3D reality. But you've been eating a lot, okay? So you've been consuming, because that is what you're supposed to do. You're going to turn into a butterfly. And the first stages are when you're a larva, you have teeth, you eat everything, and you're trusting. And why I say that you're trusting, because I see your card is the divine director. So the divine father is watching over you. Just like there's so many predators when a larva is growing, and it is out there in the open when you see them, and they have these beautiful colors, and there are different shapes, and some of them are furry. They were so cute. All of you, you're so different. You're so cute and so original. But also, this makes predators see you, and you're a great snack for them. And to be so trusting, to keep on eating and just being like a Buddha and relaxing yourself into it and just trusting is all what you pile number 2s are. You are so protected by the Father that nobody would. You're not a usual larva. You're meant to eat and enjoy because your Heavenly Father is just watching over you, basically. And it's so much love because you have the Lover's card. It's so much love here. You have so much love for yourself. And you guys have really enjoyed your larva stage life. Now, coming into this transformation, because you picked this pile, you are turning into this beautiful butterfly. And what are butterflies significant with? Well, butterflies can never see their own beauty, but everyone else can. So when you're going through this transformation, you might not see it because you've been going through so much. And why I'm saying that you've been going through so much, because I want to go through your cards here. So you have the 4 of Swords. It's been very difficult. You've been, when you've been developing, whether it is your skill, growing your self-love. Mostly, I feel for many of you, it's growing in your self-love and being so disappointed. But I'm focusing on your energy. So I want to say here that you rested. You really rested in this period before you're going through your metamorphosis here. So as you're going through this resting period here, you're very tired, and it can be very depressing almost kind of energy, but you have your self-love. So pile number 2, if you're feeling kind of down and it's feeling strange, there's nothing strange. Spirit wants you to know that you have such a happy outcome here because you have the ultimate card. You have the Sun card. So it is this beautiful, you're connecting, pile number 2, you're really connecting with your inner child so strongly. It is this playfulness from even being in this larva stage and then coming into this deep resting period here, because you need this rest. You're going to become a butterfly. So you are transforming from crawling yourself forward and almost giving up because it's been so much, to all of a sudden coming into this stage where you're just resting in a cocoon and Now you're transforming. You're transforming to come out of this cocoon and just become this beautiful butterfly. And you don't even know how you look. You don't know how amazing you are. And in these stages, we might doubt it. So really, pile number 2, even if you doubt yourself here, you should absolutely not do it, because you have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady progress. This is not an overnight. You've really built yourself up here, pile number 2. You've really gone through this hard journey of knowing that it is consistency and it is constant dedication, a reminder that you're good enough, because we can also, in this larva stage, see a lot of other that are bigger, better predators that are saying, you're so tiny, you're nothing, what are you going to become? And those voices might hurt our self-esteem, but here you're reminded it's been a steady progress. And I'm so proud of you, pile number 2, because you really pulled yourself from a difficult place, but you also enjoy. I see you enjoyed a lot, and you're so protected. But with the strength card, you've built your strength. You know the strength that you have. And becoming this butterfly is, you're supposed to enjoy the finest in life. Just, I feel like you've enjoyed life even when you were in this large stages. So even when you were exploring life, even when it was difficult, you still enjoyed yourself. That's how I feel. That's the energy here I'm picking up, because you've always been protected by the Divine Father. So you have something that keeps coming back here, and you have this innocence, your child sense that is here very strongly present, pile number 2, which is just like this lion. You see the lion? Lions they're resting. They can rest a long time, and it's okay. But when it's time to attack, when it's time to do something about it, they have the confidence. And this is the same way with your pile number 2. So you have that confidence. This is the confidence. You have the roar now, okay? You have the sound. And you're not afraid to use that sound when it's necessary. So it's a very calm and collected and very, very beautiful confidence here for you, pile number 2. And look to others to see, because when you're going through this transformation, or when you're coming into this new energy, listen to those compliments. If someone says anything to you, just hear them out. If it is a compliment, say thank you. Because in the larva stages, you're probably not used to it, because you heard the opposite constantly. But now you're coming into this self-love, and this child essence in you is just waking up. The spirit is there with you. Spirit is really there with you, and there is just this playfulness energy that is going to happen here when you're transforming into this butterfly, and you're just going to float so effortlessly, so elegant. I feel this elegant energy right here now for all of you in pile number 2, and this childlike essence, this beautiful pureness within you. So whatever happened in your stages, in your transformational, that is in the past. It has nothing to do with it. And always to remember that slow and steady wins the race. And you sure have all win in your race, okay? This was a race that you didn't have with anyone else, that you had with yourself. So you should be proud of that. That is a great progress. So this is your message. I hope that it helped you all, my beautiful butterflies. Have a wonderful fall. Bye. Here we go. Pile number 3. These are your cards. Okay. Our message of fire stands out here. So before we start with the cards, I would like to say a few words and use an analogy of the dragonfly. So you guys picked the dragonfly, and what an amazing creature this is. And I mean, you're all magician. If you didn't know that, now you do. You're amazing. And the transformation and what the dragonflies goes through, it's so mind-blowing that it is different from both the pile number 1 and 2. You might be connected to pile number 1 because you've been in that stages. I feel a connection there for you. So maybe if you want to remind yourself where you were before and you are mistrusting of where you are now, there's a message that Spirit is saying, you should know that you've made a lot of progress. So that is the connection I want to tell you. Pile number 3 to connect with pile number 1. If you do want to see that, if you don't, you don't have to. Of course, you always have your free will. But the dragonfly starts its journey underneath the water. And this says, pile number 3, that all of you have a connection to the divine. Maybe you don't believe in past lives, but you sure come from ancestors that has gone through many spiritual awakenings in different phases of their existence and time span. So that's what I'm picking up. You're very dimensional, pile number 3. And what you're going through is a very special growth, because just like the dragonfly starts its journey underneath the water, so it's in a different environment, the same way you are connecting to the divine. You've started your journey coming to this earth by connecting with your emotions, by connecting with the divine. This calling, this fire has always been inside of you. It always has been. It doesn't matter if anyone told you or didn't tell you. This is something that I'm feeling here for all of you in pile number 3. You already knew this. It's like it was a calling and you just followed it. Nobody had to tell you this. It was just something you know. The same way as the dragonfly, when it is ready and it has grown stronger underneath the water, it emerges from the water and it comes out to the air and it flies. I mean, can you just imagine this? That's why dragonflies are true magician, because you're coming from water in a whole different environment, in a whole different state, a different hearing, to then transform into the air and fly. I mean, that is just remarkable and magical in itself. So thank you for even picking the dragonfly. Because pile number 1 and 2, they're both in the air. Birds are in the air and they're connecting with the air element. The same way with the butterfly, they're also connected with the air element. They're always, from their beginning, they are in the air. But you are not in the air. You started underneath the water. So you have a different element. You have the water element combined with the air. So you have emotion and intellectual capacities that you've started off in this journey of this lifetime. And you sure have this inner fire. And this follows you around, because you have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. And the same way, I'm laughing because all of you guys, your energy are really like a dragonfly. You are from 2 different worlds. And because you have such an extreme gap, it shows up in your reality the same way as in this picture. Over-giving or over-receiving. You always felt that balance was difficult, even though that you wanted to have balance. And if you ever felt before in the past difficulties, and why I'm saying that is because the mind, 4 of Swords in reverse, is asking you now, because you're going through this fall and you're going through this transformation, to this rest and this mental difficulties that has been from the mind has never really festered itself in you so strongly. But because of this imbalance, I'm just going to try to decode this in the most simplest way with the words. But because you have this natural imbalance, like the dragonfly with the analogy of when it merges from the water to the air, you have the same thing here happening. This is natural, and spirit wants to remind you, this is completely for you. This is natural. It's because you've been in two different environments when you are down there, and because dragonflies are still flying around close to water, so you're always going to be close to your spiritual fire inside of you. You will always be close to that. That's what the water represents. You will never strain away anywhere, because that is your purpose. So understanding this, you have this energy of awakening presence. So you're going through this. This is a very spiritual awakening for you guys. You're really shifting into a different consciousness that you're meant to be doing in this lifetime. And you're being asked to, maybe you see geometrical shapes. So flower of life, you can look into that. I have it in the background. I don't know if you can see it, but you can start with looking at the flower of life, looking at different geometrical shapes, because you have that magician within you. So those shapes will resonate most with you. So that will be your suggestion of the energy that is coming through here with you. And always remember that the universe is always with you. You've always been backed up. I'm seeing stars for you guys. And whatever it is that you're doing this with spirit. So whatever it is that you are, when you're going through this transformation, you can do this with spirit. You're not alone in this. Spirit is with you. The universe is taking care of you. They've always taken care of you. But now is a reminder for you that you are being taken care of, because the mind seems to come in here very strongly and wanting to throw something. But you have the Queen of Wands. Look at those lights. She is surrounded by all of those lights, and she's so happy. She holds the fire in her hand. That is exactly how you are, my loves. You are holding that fire in your hand. It's not burning you, okay? You have so much creativity. You have so much love for yourself. You have that inner fire of completely loving yourself exactly how you are, and understanding your these extremes, because you understand in yourself where you've been and where you're going. And this has been very significant for you. It is something that you've worked through a lot, because the mind has been strongly here of wanting you, and perhaps sometimes you've run away from your mind, wanting to go under the water. But again, you've already gone through this transformation. You are in these stages of transforming completely. So I feel many of you here has been going through these transformational over and over again. It's kind of an awakening that happens gradually. So it's a new stage, like a Fibonacci sequence. I see a lot of shapes with you, pile number 3s. So it is like a sequence of coming back to a place, but you're not coming back because you're finding something different. So the consciousness is constantly elevating itself. And sometimes, again, if you believe in past lives, it can be in different lifetimes. But for you guys, you're shifting timelines. So you're jumping. You're like a magician. You're jumping through these very simple. So your consciousness it can go 5 years, and it's human 5 years, and you've already jumped. I mean, a lot. So it can be a big difference for people that are around you. They can feel like you're completely different and completely changed. And this is normal. So just go with that light inside of you and follow it, because you're meant to do a lot of things. Maybe you become a reader like this. I don't know. I'm just feeling a lot of with this magician energy, and it is a pure fiery, and it's balanced. When it is stable, it is going to be wonderful. But again, when we are transforming, it can be a little bit shaky. It can be a big difference, but again, take it with you. Take those emotions with you, like from the water. Remember your source. Keep that fire going, because you have this spiritual connection and such a deep love for yourself. It is deep like the water where this beautiful dragonfly started its life journey. The same way you have this so strong, beautiful connection to your soul. And nothing can break it. That is your best friend. That is the one that will be with you forever. And I feel it's so beautiful here. But connect with geometrical shapes, because that's coming through very strongly here. And it might be difficult now in these times here, going into autumn, of feeling this death very strongly. Again, try to relax and let it go. Try to let it go as much as possible, because again, remind yourself, you tend to go to the extremes because you're emerging from water to air. If there is a remembrance of that, then there's no difficulties shifting through this, and there's no difficulties in closing that gap between those extremes. If out of balance and we start to listen just to the air and we're starting to fly away there, like dragonflies can do, again, if you don't come back to the water will call you. Dragonflies will always be around where water is. So this is your message of pile number 3. It is a beautiful, fiery, divine light within you guys in pile number 3. And I hope that this autumn will bring you that beautiful fire, and that you can light up others to be the same way as your souls. So I hope this message helps, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. As always, I thank you all for being here, for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes, and for connecting like this. All of these messages are always sent in the name of love for you all, and in support for free always. So throughout all dimensions, as always, have a wonderful day. Sending love your way, my loves. Bye.